for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all. I am here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. You are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all. You are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. We are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all. We are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. For the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all. I am here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. You are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, greater good of all. You are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. We are here for the greater good of all, greater good of all, greater good of all. We are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all. Greater good of all, greater good of all.
There was a time in my life when I had blurred vision. I wasn't finding peace anywhere, and I certainly wasn't finding truth in religion. So one day I decided that I would sit in the silence in my room. And I vowed that I would stay there till something in me moved, and I heard a voice. It was a still, small voice, and this is what it said. God is here. God is here. No matter where I am, God is here. God is here. God is here. No matter little more each day. I see God in the flowers and in the bills that I choose to pay. I'm feeling God in my breath, spoken with each word. Oh, I'm feeling God breathe His life into me. Let God's love be affirmed. God is here. No matter where I am, God is here. God is here. God is here. No matter where I am, God is here. Well, there once was a wise man, and this is what he said. He said that God is good all of the time, and that's stuck, oh, it's stuck in my head. So I said it as my mantra. Each and every day I said it until I believed it. Now that's my life each and every day. Yes, I finally achieved it. Sing it with me now. God is here. God is here. No matter where I am, God is here. God is here. God is here. No matter where I am, God is here. God is here. God is here. No matter where I am, God is here.
Come to the temple, bathe in the presence of love. Let go of the warring, lay down your sword. You've had enough. For I know you're weary, the battle has taken its toll. Illusion is shattering, the veil is rent. You're whole. So come to the fire and lay down the shame of the past. The blaze purifying, revealing your gold at last. For you hold the keys now, unlock shackles and chains. No longer a prisoner, you are now free and reclaimed. You're reclaimed. Surrender to my love. Trust that you're enough. Allow yourself to breathe and remember, 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 oh, remember, remember, remember who you are. So come to the mystery and give up the stories you know. The path now collapsing, leading us all back to one. No longer divided, fractals united in peace. And it's time to play now like children of love's destiny. Destiny.
supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Hello and welcome to the People of Diversity. We are a multi-faith community and we believe there are many paths to one divinity. So if you would like to learn more about the People of Diversity or POD, go to www.podpeopleofdiversity.org and we will have more messages, announcements, and good stuff after the message.
Last week we heard from modern mystic Christopher Timms on healing. We had music from Jan Salmon and friends. Today we'll hear from our Baha'i representative, Dean Martineau, and our musical piece will come from Bob Sima. Next week, Muslim Naran Sykes will share with us, and Donna Frost will put some music together from somewhere in the hollers of Tennessee. Without further ado, we'll dive right in. We'll see you on the other side.
First your heart goes cold, then your stare goes long. A fire in your eyes, the burning desire left long ago. You've been living your life for everyone else. You've been holding the weight of this whole wide world all by yourself. In these mountains that you carry on your back, you were only supposed to climb. You were doing your best, but it was never enough to please the one in your head, scares you half to death, the one that doesn't exist. It's only up in your mind, the one that drains your cup and always puts you back at the end of the line. These mountains that you carry on your back, you were only supposed to climb. In this moment, everything shows up, everything presents itself just as it is. And when you slow down, let it all happen. Something fantastic, magic happens in you. And when you breathe in, it's like we're all listening to an echoing of our own souls. And when you breathe out, it's just like a rain cloud. Relief, it comes pouring down on a thirsty world. Meditation is a medication to cure the illusion of a separation. Meditation is a medication to cure the illusion of a separation. A separation. To a mind that's still becomes a cup that's filled with effervescence, ever-presence, and a heart that swells. And when you drink from this, it's a never-ending peacefulness. Don't have to believe in this. It's a story that tells itself. And when you breathe in, it's like we're all listening to an echoing of our own souls. And when you breathe out, it's just like a rain cloud. Relief, it comes pouring down on a thirsty world. Meditation is a medication to cure the illusion of a separation. Meditation is a medication to cure the illusion of a separation. We are one when we are all together, and we are one when we are all alone. We are one when we are all together, and we are one when we are all alone. Have you ever been here? Have you ever stayed here? Have you never left here for more than a glance? Have you ever faced this? Have you ever tasted this? There's a relief in the sweetness. Every moment is another chance. And just breathe in. It's like we're all listening to an echoing of our own souls. And when you breathe out, it's just like a rain cloud. Relief, it comes pouring down on a thirsty world. Meditation is a medication to cure the illusion of a separation. Meditation is a medication to cure the illusion of a separation. Oh, Namah Shivaya. Oh, Namah Shivaya.
Hello, viewers and fans of the New Way Pod, wherever you may be. This is Dean Martineau speaking to you from Santa Cruz de la Sierra, Bolivia. And today I'm offering you one of many possible Baha'i perspectives on the subject of healing. I'm going to take a very different tack than what you will have already heard if you've listened to any of the programs so far, and I suspect what you will hear if you listen to the programs to come after on the healing theme. Isn't that a surprise that I'm doing that? Because what I'm going to talk about is healing of the sick body of humanity and structural methods, structures that need to be put into place, one that is vital. Well, they all are, but one that is a step that is vital for the rest of this process to go forward. And so it's a little different approach to the topic of healing because, as you know, if you've followed anything that I've said in the past or have any familiarity with the Baha'i teachings, the notion is that the Creator has been guiding humanity throughout the ages by sending messengers, whom we refer to as manifestations, because they manifest the unknowable essence of God to us, his character, his qualities, his teachings, and even saying the word his and he is misleading because the Creator is far beyond any such attribute. But we have to use a term, and that's the one we have often tended to use. And this process has been going on for thousands and thousands of years, and now, actually in the 1800s, starting in 1844, we went through a big transition in human history. Always before that, humanity was in what we call the cycle of prophecy, always talking about a great day in human history, a great golden age of humanity. In 1844, that golden age was inaugurated, and we are now in the Baha'i era, which is going to last for 500,000 years of glory. Now, you're wondering, where is the golden age? Where is the glory? I don't see that yet. As a matter of fact, I see things that look pretty opposite of that. Well, that's the kind of thing we're going to talk about here, because in order for that golden age to happen, many structural changes have to occur within the body of humanity. And as you know, if you've listened to me before, I often try to give you extracts from the Baha'i writings, especially the writings of Baha'u'llah, the prophet founder of the Baha'i faith, because those are the actual words of God. You can rely on those. You know there what was said. If I rattle something off, it may or may not be accurate. You always have to judge what I'm saying and weigh it according to the actual Baha'i teachings. So these manifestations of God come for the purpose of healing humanity. And so Baha'u'llah says that the prophets of God should be regarded as physicians whose task is to foster the well-being of the world and its peoples, that through the spirit of oneness they may heal the sickness of a divided humanity. He went on to say in another passage that which the Lord hath ordained as the sovereign remedy and mightiest instrument for the healing of all the world is the union of all its peoples in one universal cause, one common faith. This can in no wise be achieved except through the power of a skilled and all-powerful and inspired physician with a capital P. And of course, one of the new teachings that Baha'u'llah brought, the central teaching of this faith, and the teaching that's going to make sense out of what I'm going to be talking about for the next while here today, is the oneness of humanity. Until such time as we begin to live by the oneness of humanity, we're going to continue having innumerable and horrible problems. Now, I've talked before, and I'm going to be talking again today about, based on a document that was produced by the head governing body, the Universal House of Justice of the Baha'i Faith, over 40 years ago, but it's still as relevant now as it was then. It's a booklet called The Promise of World Peace, and it's a marvelous summation of what needs to happen now for the body of humanity to go to the next stage in the process. It talks a little bit about what goes beyond that, but primarily it talks about what do we have to do to get to peace in the world and get beyond where we are right now, because where we are right now is really not very good. Make no mistake, what I'm about to describe here is going to happen. Peace and its aftermath of even greater accomplishments are inevitable. They're going to take place. But as it's pointed out in this document, whether peace is to be reached only after unimaginable horrors precipitated by humanity's stubborn clinging to old patterns of behavior, or is to be embraced now by an act of consultative will, is the choice before all who inhabit the earth. Now, in 1985, things looked a lot different. We were celebrating the International Year of Peace. People were talking about peace. There was perhaps some real possibilities that peace could be brought into being. That appears to be a kind of distant reality right now, so it looks as like humanity is heading toward the unimaginable horrors approach. That's really too bad, because it wouldn't have had to be that way. But as this document points out, you don't need this document. I just happen to use it as reference, and I encourage people who are interested in these things to get it. It's freely available in print and online, and to study it because it gives a lot of insights as to what's going on and what needs to go on. So I'm going to talk about material found in actually section 3 of the document, and about a momentous event that needs to happen and will happen. As I say, it will happen, but it's just a matter of whether we do it when we have a choice or whether we do it when we don't have a choice. But first, let's talk a little bit about what this oneness of humanity is going to mean in terms of human governance and how things are going to look. And then we're going to get to this amazing event that needs to come to pass in order to start this process. As it's quoted in this document, Promise of World Peace, in the Baha'i view, recognition of the oneness of mankind calls for no less than the reconstruction and the demilitarization of the whole civilized world, a world organically unified in all the essential aspects of its life, its political machinery, its spiritual aspiration, its trade and finance, its script and language, and yet infinite in the diversity of the national characteristics of its federated units. More about this from the Baha'i writings we can read, and this was written in 1931, and again this could just still be as true now as it was then. Far from aiming at the subversion of the existing foundations of society, it seeks to broaden its basis, to remold its institutions in a manner consonant with the needs of an ever-changing world. It can conflict with no legitimate allegiances, nor can it undermine essential loyalties. Its purpose is neither to stifle the flame of a sane and legitimate patriotism in men's hearts, nor to abolish the system of national sovereignty, so essential if the evils of excessive centralization are to be avoided. It does not ignore, nor does it attempt to suppress, the diversity of ethnical origins, of climate, of history, of language and tradition, of thought and habit that differentiate the peoples and nations of the earth. It calls for a wider loyalty, a larger aspiration than any that has animated the human race. It insists upon the subordination of national impulses and interests to the to the imperative claims of a unified world. It repudiates excessive centralization on one hand and disclaims all attempts at uniformity on the other. Its watchword is unity, and unity in diversity. And they go on to say that the achievement of such ends requires several stages in the adjustment of national political attitudes, which now verge on anarchy in the absence of clearly defined laws or universally accepted and enforceable principles regulating the relationships between nations. We certainly see that now. Now they go on to point out, because this is really interesting to me, the predominant aspects of this problem had already emerged in the 19th century when Baha'u'llah first advanced his proposals for the establishment of world peace. Now, thinking about this a second, because we're going to talk about, a system for getting the governments of the world to actually come together and prevent invasions and prevent war, because right now it seems like everybody feels like they have a license to invade everybody else, and that really can't end well. And they say in this document, the principle of collective security was propounded by him in statements addressed to the rulers of the world. And again, an editorial comment from the Baha'i writings about what this means. What else could these weighty words signify if they did not point to the inevitable curtailment of unfettered national sovereignty as an indispensable preliminary to the formation of the future commonwealth of all the nations of the world? Some form of a world superstate must needs be evolved, in whose favor all the nations of the world will have willingly ceded every claim to make war, certain rights to impose taxation, and all rights to maintain armaments, except for purposes of maintaining internal order within their respective dominions. Such a state will have to include within its orbit an international executive, adequate to enforce supreme and unchallengeable authority on every recalcitrant member of the Commonwealth. A world parliament whose members shall be elected by the people in their respective countries, and whose elected will be confirmed by their respective governments, and a supreme tribunal, it would be so good if I could talk, whose judgment will have a binding effect even in such cases where the parties concerned did not voluntarily agree to submit their case to its consideration. A world commonwealth in which all economic barriers will have been permanently demolished and the interdependence of capital and labor definitely recognized, in which the clamor of religious fanaticism and strife will have been forever stilled, in which the flame of racial animosity will have been finally extinguished, in which a single code of international law, the product of the considered judgment of the world's federated representatives, shall have as its sanction the instant and coercive intervention of the combined forces of the federated units, and finally a world community in which the fury of a capricious and militant nationalism will have been transmuted into an abiding consciousness of world citizenship. Such, indeed, appears in its broadest outline the order anticipated by Baha'u'llah, an order that shall come to be regarded as the fairest fruit of a slowly maturing age. So this is what it's going to look like, but how are we going to get there? Well, we don't know much about this, but we do know how it has to start. And so this is what the Baha'is have been appealing, and they appealed in this document that we're reading from, for the governments to do. Unfortunately, that generation didn't do it. Hopefully somebody will soon, while it's still not a mandatory requirement. Here's how Baha'u'llah describes what needs to happen. The time must come when the imperative necessity for the holding of a vast and all-embracing assemblage of men will be universally realized. The rulers and kings of the earth must needs attend it, and participating in its deliberations must consider such ways and means as will lay the foundations of the world's great peace amongst men. So this needs to be done. This action, this convening of this gathering needs to be taken. And this will to act that has to be summoned we must give consideration to our reality, the human reality, that is our thought. And to understand the relevance of this potent reality is all to appreciate the social necessity of actualizing its unique value through candid, dispassionate, and cordial consultation. So, this gathering needs to happen. This is the beginning. This will start the process of launching humanity into its maturity and into the structure that we've heard about in the passages I just read from. So, more about this gathering that we hope happens soon. Concerning the precincts of this world gathering, Abdu'l-Baha, the interpreter of the Baha'i writings and son of Baha'u'llah, offers these insights. They must make the cause of peace the object of general consultation and seek by every means in their power to establish a union of the nations of the world. They must conclude a binding treaty and establish a covenant, the provisions of which shall be sound, inviolable, and definite. They must proclaim it to all the world and obtain for it the sanction of all the human race. This supreme and noble undertaking, the real source of the peace and well-being of all the world, should be regarded as sacred by all that dwell on earth. All the forces of humanity must be mobilized to ensure the stability and permanence of this most great covenant. In this all-embracing pact, the limits and frontiers of each and every nation should be clearly fixed, the principles underlying the relations of governments towards one another definitely laid down, and all international agreements and obligations ascertained. In like manner, the size of the armaments of every government should be strictly limited, for if the preparation of war and the military forces of any nation should be allowed to increase, they will arouse the suspicion of others. The fundamental principle underlying this solemn pact should be so fixed that if any government later violate any one of its provisions, all the governments on earth should arise to reduce it to utter submission. Nay, the human race as a whole should resolve with every power at its disposal to destroy that government. Bringing this back to healing now, should this greatest of all remedies be applied to the sick body of the world, it will assuredly recover from its ills and will remain eternally safe and secure. And they go on in 1985 to say, the holding of this mighty convocation is long overdue. Well, it's at least as overdue now as it was then. So you see that this notion of what we call progressive revelation, the notion that the Creator has been guiding humanity along from age to age, offering us what we could accept and what we need at that time of divine guidance, how relevant that is, because this stuff we've been talking about here, this notion of a world-embracing gathering of all the governments on earth and a pact so that if once it's founded, once it's established, if the U.S. or Russia or Pakistan or any African country or any other country wants to invade another country, all the rest of the governments of the world are going to collectively arise and bring it into submission, whatever form that takes. That would have been an impossible concept in previous times. The people in the past dispensations didn't know what the world was. They thought they did, but they weren't in touch with all of the planet. You read the Bible, you read the Quran, and they talk about their part of the world. And that's true of all the other revelations, many of which may be lost to history, because all peoples have received manifestations of God and have been guided by manifestations of God. That means the indigenous peoples here in Bolivia and the native peoples in the U.S. and First Nations people in Canada, all peoples have received such guidance. But again, it was timely. It was based on what they could handle and what they needed. Now, we have a universal manifestation, Baha'u'llah, the glory of God, who has brought these teachings, guided the rulers to follow them, which the rulers did not do, did not pay any attention, and has continued the Baha'i faith because of the covenant which holds it together as one organic unit on the planet, continues to offer such guidance as possible, and we see that this progressive guidance that's been given to humanity is now in a position to be brought into fruition. But how different would things be in the world if, in many of these political conflicts that we have going on now, as soon as one of the parties, since the borders of all the governments, of all the nations, would be established and agreed upon, and nobody says this is going to be easy, and nobody says all countries are going to like the borders that they end up having to agree to or end up being assigned. But they're going to be their borders. It's going to be a structure. It's going to be a system. And if anybody tries to bypass it, they will be smashed by all the other governments on the planet coming together to apply this supreme remedy to the sick body of humanity so that we can finally move beyond this stage of constant warfare that we are in, and which seems to, if anything, be increasing right now. So that is a perspective that Baha'u'llah has brought on healing the body of human race, because the human race is one. There is no other thought process that will bring about its healing. And once this thought process is applied, once this gathering happens and humanity goes through the difficult stages of coming to grips with the agreements that are made, then and only then will humanity be able to go beyond that and build greater structures and a greater civilization that we can't even imagine right now. So, I think I have said enough. I hope that something here has interested you for your consideration and study and discussion. So I look forward to talking to you on the next theme, and I don't even know what the next theme is going to be, but I know that Scott and Becky will be in touch to let us know. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you so much. And also thank you, Dean. I know it's been difficult where you're living to get this whole internet and web stuff straightened out, and we really appreciate you working so hard and doing that. Yeah, it's great. Philip Lupo and Tech Team, Diego, yes, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for everything you do. If you are out there and you need this kind of work done, contact Philip at the address below, and he will fix you up. Past services are available on the People of Diversity web Facebook page, Facebook group, and also on our YouTube channel. And if you go to the YouTube channel, you can if you press the live button up at the top, then you can see the current, more current services. If you want to go way back, like 5 years worth, 260 videos.
About 265 videos.
265 videos. You can go onto the YouTube and use their playlist function. Now, don't try to do that on your phone. It's best if you do it on a computer, because on the phone it doesn't work very well. On the computer it works great. You can search on topic, so like healing, Holy was our last one, so you can go back and you can search on a topic, or you can search on a faith. So if you want to hear all of the Baha'i talks, or you want to hear all of the Jewish talks, whatever. So you can. It works really, really well on a computer. So if you don't have a computer, go to the library.
or a tablet.
Or a tablet,
right?
okay.
So
yeah.
if I just go from the phone to the tablet, it's a whole different presentation.
Yeah, that's good. All right. We have a second broadcast on Facebook Live at 5:45 on Sunday evenings. So if you missed the morning services at 10:30 on YouTube or Facebook Live, you can go and catch it on Facebook Live in the evening, on Sunday evening. And sometimes I just like to go watch it twice. So that works very nicely. Okay, I'm done.
Announcing the new pod newsletter. Actually, Becky's been working on it for about 6 weeks now.
I was going to say it's not new anymore.
But it may be new to you.
Right.
If you're interested in picking up that newsletter, go to newwaypod@gmail.com and let Becky know that you want to be added to the list. It gives kind of a breakdown on the last service, a link to it, a synopsis of services from Dean, our vendor of the month,
Upcoming live events.
right? Everything that's happening at the Universalist Unitarian spot in Rockledge. And then down at the very bottom is another thing I want to share with you, and that's Pod Plus. That gives us an opportunity to create kind of a membership-like scenario. What we're really trying to do is get a consistent tithe, offering, or donation from everybody who's watching so that we can have a consistent budget, that we know that we're going to make our budget, we're going to make our payments, and that we'll have a little extra to spread around to things like United and Thanksgiving.
Right.
So look at that Pod Plus, see if something as small as a $10 a month donation doesn't fit into your budget in your world, and we'd be grateful. But again, there's a whole ton of information there. Please dive onto that website and check it out.
So Pod Live, as Scott mentioned, we do the Unitarian Universalist Friendship Fellowship Hall in Rockledge 2 times a month, the first and the last Mondays of the month. So on March 30th, which will be the last Monday of this month, our Sisterhood of the Traveling Mystics will be doing a sound bath. They do those about quarterly for us, and they're incredible. Every one of them's different. They use a whole lot more than just gongs.
Well, bowls they use, all kinds
bowls,
of things.
Yeah, they use all kinds of stuff. It's really good, and there's always a message in it. So if you're interested in that, bring your yoga mat or something, a blanket, whatever. If you want to lay down, you can sit in the chairs. That's fine, and just come. And it's free of charge. Although we appreciate donations, we give those to the sisterhood, and also if we get enough, we pay the rent. So join us for that. On April 6th, our dear friend Reverend Elizabeth Stamper will be coming. She will present an evening focused on self-compassion and deepening our sense of belonging and community. There will be experiential processes from Tibetan Buddhism, embodied meditation, and somatic psychotherapy, just to make it fun. I can't wait to. She sent me that. I can't wait to see what somatic psychotherapy is, and I'm sure it will be fun. So
It'll be amazing, yeah.
So this is also on a love offering basis. Bring your leftover money from the week and throw it in the basket. There's no charge to get in. We don't do that. So rarely do we do that. Sometimes for concerts we'll say there's a suggested love offering, but just whatever you can feel like you can give is greatly appreciated. So, one more thing. If you or your business would like to sponsor one of our live events, contact us at newwaypod@gmail.com and let us know if you come to the live event. Then you can have the microphone for a couple of minutes before we start, talk about why you sponsored it, or talk about your business if you would like to do that. And it's $50 to do that. That's what we pay for an evening at the UU. So let us know if you'd like to do that. Okay, I'm done.
And that kind of lets us do the whole, it doesn't matter if you can pay or not, because
Right.
the rent gets paid that way, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it kind of, it balances that whole dance out. We have been blessing the 5 inhabited U.S. territories. We've made it through 4 of the 5, and this week we are arriving in a happy place of Puerto Rico.
This is number 4.
This is number
There's
4?
one more after this, yes.
Aha, okay.
Okay.
So I take everything that I just said back. This is number 4. Now, the cool fun fact for Puerto Rico is the largest cave network in the Western Hemisphere is in Puerto Rico. It is made up of 220 caves covering over 260 acres. Let's bless the people of Puerto Rico, sending love, and say these words together.
May peace prevail in Puerto Rico. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me. Thank you. Okay, tithes and donations, whether you want to do a one-time or you want to join Pod Plus and do a recurring donation, go to www.peopleofdiversity.org to set that up. We've started using a new donation thing. A lot of people don't like PayPal because they take money out. Well, we found one that doesn't. It's called Zeffy, Zeffy. Check out Zeffy. And they are for nonprofits, and it's free. Now, they'll ask you if you want to donate extra to help support them, and you can if you want, but you don't have to. And that's probably where some of the pod tithe will go this year, is to support Zeffy, right? Because it's great. They don't, like I said, they don't take money out, and we really appreciate that. So let's close our service with our energetic healing circle. Bring to your mind's eye any person, place, or thing that needs our love and our prayers. And let's listen to this last song, and we'll see y'all next week. Thank you.
Have a great week.
Bye.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of